Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is Gamester81. Today's episode, we're going to take a closer look at the Atari Lynx. This is one of my favorite handhelds growing up as a kid. Before I do that, I do want to say a couple quick shout outs and thank yous to a couple of YouTubers here in the community. First one is Alicia at Candy Tutorials. She helped me put together my page layout since I became a partner. She helped me create my banner, my background, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Alicia. You did an awesome job. I'll put a link of all these channels below. I encourage you guys to check them out. Also, Smash TV, that's with 4 A's, I believe. He helped me put together my background and my avatar pick for my other channel, Nostalgiaholic. And thank you for that. It turned out awesome. Finally, Jason, his name's Jason Relaxation here on YouTube. He sent me a package, and I haven't opened it up. It's open, but I haven't seen what's inside. And I just want to say thank you for sending this, man. And I wanted to unbox it in front of you on this video. Let's see what he sent. He did a rap of me and does raps for other people who follow YouTubers. Really cool guy. He's into gaming, so check him out. I got Crash Nitro Kart. That's awesome, dude. It looks like a Mario Kart clone. That's sweet, dude. Tiger Woods 2004. Interesting. I know it's an awesome game for sure, but it's kind of funny looking back with Tiger Woods and what's going on with him right now. Cheetah Woods is what I call him. And then Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's awesome. I have this on. I don't have this on the N-Gauge yet. That's awesome though. But it's very cool. Thank you for that. And I think he sent some other things. Oh, dude. He sent me. This is sweet. Turtles, the original movie, and then Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. These are really unique, though. It looks like they're Canadian, so they're bilingual, French and English, and they're different packs than you would find here in the States. So I'm a huge Turtles fan. So thank you, Jason. Very kind of you. I just wanted to say thank you on this video for that. But back at the episode at hand, let's take a closer look at this Atari Lynx. There's two different models that came out. Model 1 is here on the right, and then Model 2 is on the left here. So let's take a closer look. Okay guys, almost forgot, before I do a review on this system and talk a little bit more about it, I do want to give you guys an update in case you guys missed it. I did have a contest for a free system giveaway, and I wanted to give those names out. I did draw on Blog TV Live, and if you go to my account, which is linked below, you can see me pull names. For the free t-shirts, Gamester81 t-shirt was Hold the Line 07. I've been in contact with him. I drew two names for a system. It was a portable Super Nintendo and a portable Genesis, their choice. Pokedigimon 9. He has been contacted, and a huge thank you to Stone Age Gamer for helping me with these systems. They're actually giving one away as well, which so awesome website. Check them out. Your system is on its way. Pokedigimon 09 should be there in about a week. I did draw another name, Chapapa96, and I contacted him. He's not interested for reasons that are kind of understandable. So I drew a backup, and that is Arts E-Boy. I'll be contacting you. You won your choice of either Super Nintendo or portable Genesis. So hopefully you'll respond and go from there. Now, back to the system review. Thanks, guys. Here is the outer box for the Atari Lynx. This is the original one I have since 1989. This is the Model 1. There's actually two models, which I'll go over later in this episode. The system was created in 1989, actually retail for $180, so it's a lot of money back then. I'm not sure what that is with inflation, but it's very, very expensive, more so than the PSP Go now, for example. Very first LCD color portable system, and even for the day, it was really way advanced, and it's a lot more powerful system than the Game Boy. This was distributed by Atari, but it was actually made by a company called Epyx. It's spelled E-P-Y-X. They made games for various systems. They also made joysticks and stuff like that for the Atari and different accessories. And they actually designed the system called the Handy Game, and essentially it was like the Lynx. And they finished developing it back in 1987, so pretty early. Atari saw this, bought the rights to it. Initially there was like a thumbstick to it. They redesigned it, remodeled it. It's a very unique design, even today for handhelds. This is the outer box, and I think this is what it came with basically. It came with California Games. Also came with a cable called the Comlinks, and the Comlinks is kind of like with the Game Boy cable. You can play up to 2 players, but the Comlinks you can actually hook up to 17 different links at one time. Although most games are compatible with 8 or less, fewer. You got 4-channel sound. There's an AC adapter included, which is huge because it does run off of AA batteries, 6 of them, and the battery life on this thing was about 6, maybe 7 hours at the most. So unlike the Game Boy, you can get it for $90, so about $90 less than this system, and you could also the games would last longer, though it was not backlit, and it was black and white. So there's some trade-offs, but obviously Nintendo had the game third-party support. Atari did not, and that's one reason why the system failed. Okay, this system is a huge handheld, by the way. And then let's see what's on the back. Okay, you've got California games right there, and this is funny. They're all got the comm links and the family playing. Very retro picture right there, kind of funny. And this is actually the actual size of the system. It's pretty close to it. Let's see. Maybe the system's a little bit bigger, but fairly close. It's got a nice 3.5-inch screen. Okay, let's take a closer review at. This is the Model 1. Here's a closer look at the Model 1 Atari Lynx. First thing you'll notice, guys, this thing is gigantic. It's huge. It's very heavy. 3.5-inch screen, which is kind of nice, but this thing is gigantic, right? The games are small, which is nice, but the system itself is huge. And one of the reasons why it's so big is that apparently they did a case study before this thing was released, and they talked to gamers and kids primarily, and they find out that kids really like big things, apparently. Now, little did they know this thing actually backfired on them, because that was one of the big downfalls about the system. Was so big and heavy. You need gigantic pants to call this pocket size, and this wouldn't even be able to fit in your pocket. Okay, you've got your mono sound, which is kind of lame. You got your B, A buttons. They play okay. You get your directional pad, which is kind of sketchy, and you get your on off. And then there's 3 buttons right here. If you hold this, it says option 1, restart, flip, and option 2. While the game's on, if you hold down these 2 buttons right here, it's gonna restart the game. Okay. If you hold these 2 buttons down right here, it's gonna actually flip it, so you can play left-handed. That's why the buttons are here. So it's the very first system to ever accommodate left-handed players. Okay. Also, now it wasn't the last. There was actually a home console that the controller was able to flip for left-handed gamers as well. So that's kind of a cool feature, very unique. It was also the very first system to have graphics that you could actually zoom in and out, kind of like the Super Nintendo could be able to do that. This was the first one to do that as well. Graphics are not bad, especially considering the time, the late 80s, far superior than the Game Boy. Now, am I saying the system is better than the Game Boy? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the graphics and the capability of the system is superior. Game Boy had much better games. Okay. Now, one thing I didn't like about this Model 1, other than the fact that it's heavy, is that the side here chips away. The paint starts, and this is pretty common. If you find these on eBay auction sites or stores, you're going to find a lot of them have the paint rubbed off. Same thing with this side. On the very top, you get your power. That's key. That's for your AC adapter. Definitely when you're at home, you want to use that, because this thing eats batteries left and right. You get your comm links. This is where you can plug into another Lynx, play multiplayers, up to 17 players, which is pretty crazy. Headset, your volume, and volume's not that impressive. Like I said, it's mono. And you get your brightness right here. It is backlit, which is neat. And then your batteries will plug in here. And this is where you'd hold 6 AA batteries. Battery life on this thing is about 6 to 7 hours of continuous play. And then you've got this flap right here. And this is where the games would plug into. Now, the first round of games were flat. Like, this is the game that came with this pack. And you can see it was flat. And the whole idea, it's very thin. The whole idea is you can actually stack them on one another. Okay. Now, what they found was when gamers were taking them out, they were actually having issues taking them out. And they came out with this type. So you actually there's a hook, and you could actually pull it out much easier. So this is what most Lynx games look like that you'll see. Okay, let's take a closer look at the Model 2. Okay, by 1991, Atari was getting murdered with the market share, and with handhelds, Nintendo was killing them. And Sega just released a Game Gear, and that was backlit, and the batteries last a little bit longer than Lynx. But one thing Atari decided to do was to shrink down the Model 1 to this, and what they wanted to do also was make it a lot more affordable. So basically, let me compare the sizes here real quick. That's the Model 1, Model 2. So basically, it's an inch shorter, which is significant. Same size screen. This has got a better resolution, actually, than the Model 1. But they also price tagged it at $90. And they even bundled it with a couple games, which is huge. So it did help a little bit. By 1994, they really wanted to focus on the Atari Jaguar. That's interesting, because Atari was naming these systems after, cats. So they had the Lynx, the Jaguar. They even had a prototype Panther that they were supposed to release, never came out. But kind of interesting the names they decided to call these systems, right? I guess it beats calling them those numbers like 2600 5200, 7800, etc., whatever. So, but this is a much better model design. If you're looking in the market for a Lynx, this is definitely one that you probably should look into getting. They're not too rare. A little bit more common than the Model 1. You get your directional pad right here. It's more responsive. You can hear it click, where the other one you couldn't. You're on, off. Now you got your backlight, so you can actually turn the light on and off to conserve battery, which is nice. You got your same buttons right here. You can flip it. Your BA that hasn't changed. Your batteries are now on the back here. This thing actually opens up, and your batteries right there, which is still kind of an inconvenience and a pain in the ass to replace, but still eats batteries pretty quick. This is the very top. You got your volume, your brightness right here. That's now up top, not below. Comm links, your headset, your power. They just flip those around. And on the back, you got these nice rubber grips now, which is feels nice in your hands. And the games no longer go on the side; they should go on top, and they go in and out much smoother than the Model 1. Okay, let's take a closer look at my collection of games. Here are my collection of games. I only have about 16 or 17 games. There are actually 99 games released for the Lynx, and the last one actually made in, believe it or not, as late as 1999. There are a couple sites that do a lot of home brewing games. Hasbro took over Atari for a while, and they basically made it open for developers to make games for the system, which is cool. I have a couple in box. Boxes still. I want to show you what the boxes look like. This is Zybots. This game is okay. And you got like Cyber Tournament, Cyber Ball is kind of like a football game. It's okay. It's kind of cheesy. I'm going to talk about some of these games. Pinball Jam. This has got two different pinball. If you like pinball games, it's not a bad game to get. Okay. Cyber Ball, Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden, however you want to pronounce it. Not a bad port, actually. Pretty fun, pretty good port, pretty true to the arcade. Stun Runner, again, pretty true to the arcade. They have some voiceover for it, which is pretty amazing back in the day. Shadow of the Beast, game's okay. Pac-Land, pretty fun game. If you're a big Pac-Man fan, totally different. It's more of a side-scroller game. Rampage, by far one of my favorite games for the system. I'm a huge Rampage fan. There's actually Larry the Rat, which is an exclusive character on this one only. And if you like Rampage, you have an Atari Lynx, you definitely want to get this game. Blue Lightning. I have this for Jaguar as well. Jag CD I showed. This is by far a better version. It kind of plays a lot like Afterburner, but it's a really good, fun graphics. Hydra. This is kind of like Wave Race, I guess. You're on these boats, and it's a racing game. It's not bad. Xenophobe. It's a good port. There's a lot of ports to I have the Commodore 64 version and stuff. It's not bad. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, rather. Totally bogus, dude. Totally bogus. Don't get that game. Horrible. Pit Fighter. It's okay. Graphics are kind of blocky, but not bad. California Games. There's 4 games in this only. There's BMX. There is Surfing, which is not too bad. There is Half Pipe and Hacky Sack. It's not a bad game. It was a pack-in. Checker Flag, which is a standard racing game. Batman Returns. Pretty decent. It's a side-scroller Batman game. It's not bad. And you get this prototype Alien vs. Predator demo. And this game actually has a lot of potential for this game. It was never released. But it's interesting. So let's check out some gameplay just for a couple games. We're using the Model 2 here. I'm going to show you Blue Lightning. I got the lights turned off so you can see it. Obviously the backlight's on. I can turn it off if I want and still on. But say batteries. Now, I corrected myself from before. I said the battery life was 6 to 7 hours. It's actually more like 4 to 5 hours. Let's try flipping it. And you can play left-handed as well, which is kind of neat for the left-handers. Obviously, I would suck playing left-handed, so we're going to stick to normal. Plays a lot like Afterburner. Your lives are up here. This is how many missiles you have. And if you press option 2, you can go like that, which is kind of cool. Now, there's actually, the Atari had capabilities to play over about 4,100 different color palettes to choose from. It could display about up to 16 at a time, but for each scene, it could change colors if that makes sense. So there's a lot of colors in about 4,096 different colors to choose from. So it's a pretty colorful, very vivid looking screen, which is cool. Okay, let's check out another game. We're going to show you one more game here in this review. This is Rampage. This is one of my favorite arcade games as well. Still mono sound, which is kind of lame. Now you can choose between, there's Larry the Rat, or no, that's Larry the Rat right here. Right, there he is, that's Larry the Rat, my bad. Okay. And the object of Rampage is you're supposed to go on buildings and punch the buildings and just basically destroy things. And you eat people and just wreak havoc. And they're shooting at you and stuff. And my energy bar is in the far right there. See where the green bar? There's different, I think there's a couple secrets for Rampage, but you can also eat people. Let's see if I can eat this guy. There we go. Eating him. So, definitely a very entertaining game, guys. So, definitely recommend this game for sure for Lynx. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy gaming. Take care.